nothing better than somebody who comes up all of a sudden and decides that they've just noticed that the radical left seems to be lauding and heralding and praising this ostensible killer, though I don't know if they can prove it, Luigi Mangione, which in Italian means, of course, big eater or glutton. Interesting, isn't it? Not really. Now, a couple of things here. First, since the beginning of time, we have always looked to sometimes bad guys. Bonnie and Clyde, Jesse James, go down the list, John Dillinger, Pretty Boy Floyd. We've always kind of heralded and lionized them, especially when people like Dillinger and Bonnie and Clyde used to go into banks and used to take the deeds to all the mortgages and destroy them, and, Robin Hood. I don't have to tell you this. John Gotti, in a weird way, Ted Bundy, Richard Ramirez, the Night Stalker. I mean, come on. The people that are fine, they find them attractive. The Menendez brothers. Do you think this is anything new? Do you really think all of a sudden, especially when the left is so bereft of heroes, where they don't even have a stand, they don't even know what they stand for. They believe in bumper stickers and they believe in trite little phrases. This is all they have. And if somebody looks handsome or doesn't look like some ghoulish person, they feel sorry for them. Remember Carla Faye Tucker? Carla Faye Tucker was the woman on death row in Texas who put like a pickaxe in somebody's chest, but because she was cute and pretty and white and had curly hair and she was doing hand dancing, and they wanted to commute her sentence. Now, if you're a 300-pound black guy named Mustafa, who also converted to religion, but this religion is Muslim or Islam, nobody cares. This is not, if you think this is a big deal, but let me tell you a story which is the most interesting. And for those of us who have been organized crime folks, we've found this interesting. There was a fellow named Arnold Schuster. Arnold Schuster was an American haberdasher, this young 24-year-old fellow who worked in Brooklyn, and he was kind of like an amateur sleuth. You know what I mean? One of those folks. By the way, Schuster is a distant cousin from the Simon and Schuster family. Okay. So to make a long story short, he was 24 years old, and he was, in a store, and he recognized wanted and famed bank robber Willie Sutton. Remember him? They asked Willie, why do you rob banks? He says, that's where the money is. This was February the 18th, 1952. Okay? So he followed Willie Sutton to a garage. He goes, wait a minute, that's Willie Sutton. So I'm on the subway and basically called the police, ratted him out, and then went on TV and said, oh, this is the guy. I did it. I'm a hero. And supposedly, as people said, Albert Anastasia, the Mad Hatter, the Lord High Executioner from Murder Incorporated fame, saw this and said, I hate a squealer. Hit him. And there was a question as to who did it. Supposedly Fred Tenuto, I think they named him the Angel or something. He might have done it because he lived with, or not roomed with, but was a cellmate of Willie Sutton. In any event, the problem is that in Willie Sutton took on this kind of he was a romantic hero. He was a bank robber. He didn't really hurt anybody. Albert Anastasia, bad example maybe, looked at him and said, you turned him in. That's why they're going after now this McDonald's in Altoona. And they're giving them Yelp ratings of 1. That'll show them why. Because they're rats. They ratted out this guy. And now we have folks who are saying, maybe that's really not Mangione because the eyebrow, the spaces between the eyebrow. Look, we also have MK Ultra theories. We'll get to all this stuff. This is fantastic. And the hard part for most people to do is to take all of these subjects and to compartmentalize them like plates on a stick. Remember this guy? Remember this Eric Bren, years ago on Ed Sullivan? They can't handle this. So you have these poor people, these lefties, these children who sit in their, in their scuffies and their slides and their pajamas all day. And they normally used to go on and say, I define myself as a jure, composite, diaphanous, queer, and like nobody cares. And then the other ones would sit in the front seat of their car and scream about something. So now you have these dreamy-eyed lefty children. These are children bereft of any direction, bereft and devoid of any kind of focus. They're sitting back and they're saying, I think it's dreamy and groovy. And then you've got Jimmy Kimmel kind of going into that. And even Joe Rogan, that they're trying to pin the fact they're trying to suggest that Joe is actively, endorsing this, which is not true. But people have always hated the insurance. Remember this Denzel Washington, what's it, Citizen Q or Mr. Q or something like that, where he takes people hostage? This is old. I love when people think they've just figured something out. Like, oh my God, I can't believe all the people who are so who are enamored by this guy. Well, they have social media. Al Capone was a hero. Al Caponeo, remember that? The great, the men he would fund soup kitchens. Remember Al Capone? And this one guy, he don't look like this. It's this great, grainy black and white piece where he says, Al Caponeo, Caponeo, at 27-4 Howard Street. That's Archie Bunkers. Anyway, this has been going on. Dillinger. The lady in red. I'm like, come on. But this guy is a schmuck. He shows up, he goes to a McDonald's in Altoona wearing the mask, doing this harmonica thing. He doesn't recognize the fact that he's got these eyebrows that look like Rudolph Hess. I mean, what are you doing? In a place that's got cameras and, he's brilliant. And he writes down to-do lists. And he's so smart. He writes down what he's going to do. You don't remember what you're going to do? You're going to kill that guy. You've got to write this down. You've got to wax philosophical. And the reason why he's an idiot. He's an idiot. If you wanted to do it, pick a gun, know what the hell you're doing, do it, and get the hell out of Dodge. And that's it. He should have had a safe house. He should have just stayed in New York for a month or go to Jersey. Hell, you can go to Queens and nobody's looking for you. Just stay there for a month. This is what all the JFK assassins did. They waited about a month and then they went back through Mexico and then back to Marseille. I mean, look. I don't want to ruin anybody's fun with this, but do me a favor. I'll tell you when there's something to note. I'll tell you when something's fascinating. I'll tell you. The question you should be asking is why in his prison picture or his mugshot, why did he piss his pants like that? What the hell's that all about? What is this? What is he, incontinent? I don't understand this. And I got news for you. Unless you can connect that gun, now this is a ghost gun that was 3D printed. I don't know what kind of rifling you have if you could do any ballistics comparison. But if you don't have a gun to connect him with, I don't care how many spiral-bound notebooks you have, it doesn't matter. Does that make any sense? Good. Now do me a favor, dear friend. Do me a favor. 87% of the people who watch me don't subscribe. How dare you? Subscribe right now. Hit that little bell to be notified of live streams and new videos. Like this video. And for the love of God, comment as you see fit.